Hundreds of them! They're headed for the stars at Concord! The regulars are on the road tonight! Sound the alarm! The regulars are out! Hundreds of them! They're headed for the stars at Concord! The regulars are on the road tonight! Summon the militia! The lobsterbacks are heading for Concord! They're already on the road! Sound the alarm! What's all that shouting?
Father, wake up. Father. Something's happening. There's a rider down at Buckman shouting loud enough to wake everybody up.
Grenadiers and light infantry, most likely.
Are you sure?
We didn't wait around to see, but there's no doubt about it at all. They crossed the Charles River and formed up on the Menotomy Road when we lit out. There was 4 of us. One took off for Medford, one for Brookline, and another one went down to Watertown. But no matter which road those lobsterbacks take, you can be sure they're headed for the stores of powder and shot in Concord.
How many soldiers are there? Oh, we have to know.
Let go of my bridle, mister. I have to get on.
We want to know how many soldiers there are.
1,000 at least. They had a line of boats stretching across the Charles, and every boat was packed full of redcoats. Now get out of my way. You're not the only one who's got to be waked up this night. Yeah.
I don't believe it. Anybody who knows the British Army knows they don't march at night. Why should they?
If they're truly marching this way at this hour, it's to take us by surprise at Concord.
Well, what kind of surprise when it's got to be dawn before they get halfway there?
Well, the man who just rode through here wasn't drunk, as far as I could tell. And he has no reason to ride out here in the middle of the night just to tell us a lie.
I'm going to call out the militia to sign a muster book, Reverend. Do we get the bell?
Now, wait just a minute. Let's suppose there's an army of 1,000 men headed this way. The muster roll of our militia only adds up to 79 men.
What's your point?
What are you going to do with 79 men facing 1,000 is my point.
We don't know how many there are. We don't know for certain there are any, but if there were only one of us, the principle would be the same.
What do you say, Reverend? Do we get the bell?
Toll the bell. Summon the militia.
You are now under orders and in discipline in this Committee of Defense and Correspondence. Go home, get your gun, powder, and shot, as well as a pound of bread and a bottle of water. Muster on the green at the sound of the drum.
Name?
You know my name?
You have to state it. For the record.
Samuel Hadley.
You are now under orders and in discipline in this Committee of Defense and Correspondence. Go home, get your gun, powder, and shot, as well as a pound of bread and a bottle of water. Muster on the green at the sound of the drum.
Name?
Joash Smith, by God.
Just sign your own name, Smith, and let the good Lord take care of his own. You are now under orders and in discipline in this Committee of Defense and Correspondence. Go home, get your gun, powder, and shot, as well as a pound of bread and a bottle of water. Muster on the green at the sound of the drum.
Went to sleep a boy, woke up a man. I had him.
I truly hope so, sir. With Father up there, I don't know if I'll be signing the muster book or not.
What if he won't let you?
I guess I'll just sink right through this floor.
Name?
Simon Casper.
You are now under orders and in discipline in this Committee of Defense and Correspondence. Go home, get your gun, powder, and shot, a pound of bread and a bottle of water. Muster on the green at the sound of the drum.
It's your turn, Mr. Simmons.
No, why don't you go ahead, Adam?
Name?
Adam Cooper. Thank you, sir. I signed. Mr. Parker handed me the pen, and I signed. He handed me the pen, and my father watched me sign. And I signed my name, Adam Cooper, citizen.
What do you do now?
I go home, and I get my gun, and I join the rest of the men on the green, and we wait for the redcoats. Ruth, this is gonna be the greatest day of my life.
Permitting your son, your 15-year-old son, sign the militia muster book, is that your way of loving him?
Sir, if I'd refused him in front of the whole village, I would have lost him forever.
If the British Army is truly coming, you may just lose him forever.
What was I to do? I looked up and there he was. Didn't say anything. Standing there looking at me. I tell you, his face said more than all the words that ever passed between us.
He's only a boy.
Yesterday, he was a boy. Tonight, he's not.
I don't understand that kind of talk. A boy doesn't turn into a man overnight. It takes learning and growing and hurting, and most of all, it takes time. Moses, sit down, please. Just one moment, please. Listen to me. We're plain people. We live quietly. We try to raise our children properly with a decent respect for God and man. We don't kill. We don't cheat. We don't steal. We don't even have a jail in our town. And now you're telling me that ordinary village people, men and boys we've known all of our lives, are going to try and stop an army. And that our 15-year-old son is one of those boys?
We're not even certain the army's coming. But if they do come and see us standing firm, they'll respect us.
Will they?
Firmness is not the way to have bloodshed. It is the way to avoid it.
Then avoid it without Adam.
I cannot do that. We can't shelter him now, Sarah. We cannot shield him. There comes a time. This is that time. Wrap a rag around the flint. There's moisture in the night air.
Yes, sir, I thought to do so.
Is it loaded?
No, sir, not yet.
Load it then. I want to watch it. That's not enough.
That's a hunting measure.
You're not hunting.
Well, how many then?
3 times.
I'll kick like a mule.
You can live with a bruised shoulder better than you can live with a British bayonet. How many pellets?
20.
You count pellets?
Yes, sir, I count them.
You'll stop tomorrow to count pellets, is that it?
No, sir, I wasn't thinking.
And think! Think! Use your head to save your life. Put your hand in that shot pouch and pull out a handful. Now feel it in your hand. Now count them.
It's 27. It's a large load. It could break the breech.
Is your breech rusty?
No, sir.
Then it won't break. Now load them and remember what it feels like. Don't stop to count.
Yes, sir.
I want you to close the shutters, just as you would for a storm. I want you to stay inside until Adam and I are back. And And I want you to remember that they don't want bloodshed any more than we do. The soldiers may be trash, but their officers are gentlemen, and we're all the same people.
Not quite.
We're all the same people, Mother. We're all Englishmen. Sarah. Sarah.
Goodbye, Moses.
Well, there's no need to say goodbye. We're only going over to the green.
Goodbye, Moses.
Don't worry, Mother. Mother, please.
You get on out of here now if you're going to go, and you leave your mother be. Go, go.
Your mother crying?
Yes, sir, she was.
Well, don't let her tears fool you into thinking she's weak, son. Your mother's not weak. I don't like to admit it, but women are stronger than we are. I've always wondered about that. Your mother doesn't think we understand one another, son. She thinks I should tell you I love you. I told her that's not the kind of thing men say to one another. If there's love, they both know it. You do know about the feeling I have for you, son.
I think so, sir. Down deep.
It's down deep, where it counts, because that's where the roots are. And if I've been hard on you, boy, it's because I want those roots strong. There's another thing, too. I don't think much of anything's going to happen here this morning, but something could. You might have a heavy burden.
You know, my heart isn't fully in this.
Don't worry about us.
Well, I just wish this would all go away.
Go to the green now because you must. And stand with Jehovah because you always have.
We pray for you, Father. Truly we do.
What time is it, Reverend?
10 minutes until 4.
What's the word, John?
We've had further word. There's no question now. The lobsterbacks are coming, sure enough. And a great many of them.
I think we should decide who will do the talking when they get here.
You're the only one without a gun, Reverend. Maybe you'd better talk for us.
There are some in this world who won't listen to a man without a gun. If there's any talking to be done, perhaps you'd better do it.
Since we have no store of arms, powder, and shot, it's plain enough they're interested in Concord. Suppose they see us standing here and decide to ignore us and go on past up the road. What then?
By God, then we stop them.
Use the brains God gave you, Simon. The plain truth of the matter is we cannot stop them. Do you want a bloodbath?
Moses is right. My feeling is that we take up our positions here and we hold them with dignity and courage. If they propose to march on past us, why, then they march on past.
Of all the damn things.
What if they don't stop? What if they march on through and pay us no mind?
They won't march on through, and they won't ignore us. They have too much false pride for that. They don't see us as free men with rights.
If you're gonna fight, you better make up your mind about it.
Just keep your fingers off your triggers. Remember. Now all fall in. 2 ranks facing Monotony Road.
Boys 17 years and under, second rank, 2 lines only. Regular parade order, spread out. Further along, leave a space. That's right, good.
Music should be in the first rank, Mr. Parker.
How old are you, Jonathan?
Well, 16, sir. I should be up front.
The better to see you, is that it?
Yes, sir. Oh, and the better to hear me, too.
All right. First rank.
Good. Hold the positions. Very good.